Hello, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics/Non-Classics. This is episode number 183 and Double Shot number 127. Two Justice League trades. Justice League Volume 4, The Grid, and Justice League Volume 5, Forever Heroes. Starting off with The Grid, which collects issues 18 to 20 and 22 to 23. Now, before anybody asks the question, where is issue 21? That is really simple. It's collected in Shazam Volume 1. That's where it is. It's collected with the rest of the Shazam backup feature from this very series, which issue 21 is the conclusion to that backup feature. I might get to it someday. Now, 22-23 is part of Trinity War. Basically, I don't know why DC did this for. They decided to shove this in here, even though that the rest of the full story is in the Trinity War trade. But you have to get this trade specifically for issues 18 and 20. It's a three-issue storyline called The Grid. Now, issue 18 is simply kind of a standalone-ish issue. 19, 20 is a two-parter. 18 is the issue where the Justice League, after the events of Throne of Atlantis, they want to open up their ranks, recruit some new people. And the people who they want to recruit, and people who show up in this issue, are people like Firestorm, Black Canary, let's see. It's Black Canary, Black Lightning, Blue Devil, Element Woman, Firestorm, Gold Rush, Nightwing, Platinum, Vixen, and Zatanna. Out of all these people, the only three that join the team, that voted to join the team, are Firestorm, Element Woman, and one who disappeared in here, and that's the female Atom, who is later revealed to be Atomica in the pages of Trinity War. Now, she joins the team because she's able to successfully help stop Platinum, who was one of the Metal Men, which I'll get to them soon in the next trade. And it's a simple story. I mean, Nightwing has no idea why he's even there. He thought it was an emergency, so he left. And of course, this is during a period of time when he is still having his sort of, like, he and Batman basically are not talking to each other. That is, they do reconcile toward the end of Forever Evil, but at this point they're still they still don't like each other very much, not talking. But basically, some of these people, basically, an Element Woman, I will get to her basically after I get finished with the next trade. They successfully stop Platinum, who goes cuckoo for Cocoa Pups and tries to kill people, and she's stopped, but she later comes back in that storyline by the female Atom. It's a good start to it. Issues 19 and 20 is kind of the new. It's kind of basically this continuous version of Tower of Babel, but here's a slight change. Now, there's somebody who breaks into the Batcave and steals a kryptonite ring. This very ring that's on the cover. Now, Despero gets his hands on this ring. Now, Despero is a person who was the first alien that just like fought during the 5-year gap, which does reveal something else. That's the only thing really else. I mean, slowly you get some of these stuff revealed, like what happened during the 5-year gap, revealing that Despero was fought by the Justice League during the 5-year gap. That was a brilliant move by Jeff Johns. And bringing him, this is actually his first appearance in this continuity. And just by coincidence, at the end of the first part, Martian Manhunter shows up. I think it must be an editorial mandate that stretches back to the Silver Age. Anytime that Despero shows up, Martian Manhunter has to be in the issue. Can you think of any time that Despero has shown up in the comics where Martian Manhunter is not in the issue? Yeah, it's something interesting. And also interesting fact, though, Despero is the only reoccurring villain of Martian Manhunter. The only one. Well, the other one's still left around. There was one that he fought during his Spotlight years in the 70s. But this guy, yeah. Now, after he's defeated, now he basically is looking for the Justice League. They're off doing their own thing. Like Superman Wonder Woman stop the situation in Karak, which basically gets spilled into a Trinity War, by the way. And of course, Despero's up looking for Justice League in the Watchtower. And of course, during this particular two-part story, the Watchtower, he causes the Watchtower to basically crash on Earth. And where is it crash? Happy Harbor, Rhode Island. Yes, the very place where the Justice League of the Silver Age had their very first base operations, the Secret Sanctuary. And in case anybody asks, Secret Sanctuary does not exist in the current continuity. Yeah, and if you read during the events of Trinity War, it's still there. As for how I got back into space, Lex Luthor did that. He built a new Watchtower. And of course, it's revealed at the very end that there's a sliver of kryptonite missing. The sliver of this ring's kryptonite is missing. But it's later revealed to be Atomica who did that. Yeah, that was an interesting little plot twist. But basically, the whole point of these three issues is kind of sort of one of the lead-ins into Trinity War. It's a really good story, and plus you also get Red Hood reconciling with Batman after all this time. I mean, his appearance in here was surprising, probably for a lot of people when they first read that issue. This was issue 19, by the way. Basically, and of course, I still don't know who the heck that person was. It looks like a guy. It could have been Despero. Despero is just too big to be that guy. I don't know who it was. I don't think anybody knows who that person was. It could have been the Outsider, but it's never revealed. I mean, this storyline is like nearly 3 years old, and still to this very day, no one knows who that person is. But despite that, this is a good. This story is very good. You don't have to read the Trinity War stuff if you don't want to, but it's part of the book, and I'm giving the book a 9 out of 10. It's really good. Next up is Forever Heroes, which collects issues 24, 29. Now, this is kind of like two acts. The first 3 issues serve 2 purposes. One gives the origin story of most people on this cover. And in case anybody asks, in case you're wondering why does this cover look familiar, because it's a mirror. It's a reverse mirror image of issue 1. That's simply all it is. Now, every single person on this cover, now Grid already had this origin story told prior to this. So, of the Crime Syndicate, the only person no one knows what the origin story is Superwoman. She's the only person no one knows what the origin story is. Yeah, that was deleted, but all these guys' origin stories are told over the course of the first 3 issues. An interesting little thing about the first 3 issues, they take place between the issues of Forever Evil. Like 24 takes place between issues 1 and 2. 25 takes place between issues 2 and 3. And 26 takes place between issues 3 and 4. And of course, issue 27 is basically 27, 29 is kind of like a cyborg story. And during these 3 issues, you also have the first in continuity appearance of 2 superhero teams who existed in DC Universe prior to Flashpoint: the Doom Patrol and the Metal Men. The Metal Men would later go on after this very story to become supporting characters in the Cyborg series, which you can read now, published by DC Comics, written by David Walker. As for the Doom Patrol, they're supposedly killed, but it's later revealed what happens, and I'll get to that when I get a chance to get hands on the Volume 6 trade. But it's interesting, though, they actually bring in the Doom Patrol, and the fact that Robot Man, despite the fact he's showing up in My Greatest Adventure. An interesting thing about My Greatest Adventure, basically the Robot Man who shows up in there, that's from pre-Flashpoint. That's all pre-Flashpoint. It's just a continuation of what the people who wrote Weird Worlds did. It has nothing to do with New 52. I recently read it, so it has nothing really much to do. None of those stories take place in the current continuity. That's all pre-Flashpoint continuity, despite the fact it's published in the New 52 title. Okay? But this book right here is also noteworthy for being the first in-canon appearance of Robot Man, basically discounting his appearance from My Greatest Adventure. Now, he only shows up in here as a brain. He later shows up later, but he makes his first appearance here. Now, the Doom Patrol that he uses here is actually the one from the 80s. Yes, the one that the first lineup that the Doom Patrol had. This is like pre-Grant Morrison. They used that lineup. They used the second official lineup of the team. That's what they use. And plus, Cyborg gets a new look. In here, let's see if I can show the full look in here. Basically, here we go. This is Cyborg's new look, and this is his look up until last year. So basically, for about 2 years, that was his look. And in case you're reading JLA, like, and JLA and Justice League are the only comics where he has that look. In his own title, he's got a brand new look. But I've heard it described sort of like a, it's sort of like a homage to the Marv Wolf and George Perez look. It's sort of homage that a little bit, but it gets rid of the bulky suit that he was wearing at the start of the current continuity. But this is very good. I definitely recommend it. So I give this book also a 9 out of 10. Alright, stay tuned for the next episode, which will be episode 194 and Double Shot number 128. Till then, see you there. Bye.